With a 49ers loss to Tennessee, your Dallas Cowboys have clinched a playoff berth for the first time since 2018. With a primetime battle against Washington, Dallas looks to take matters into their own hands and take the division for good. That and more on this special Christmas Eve episode of Noise of the Boys. Cowboy Nation, what is happening? Live and in living color, we bring to you the Noise of the Boys podcast, a Dallas Cowboys Homer exclusive from our studio at HQ1. I am your co-host, color commentator, Matt Longoria, and with me, as always, my right-hand dude, sitting to my left, Uncle C. Tom.
What's up, everybody? Matt and I are just two true blue over-the-top diehard fanatics that come together to help you celebrate those wins, but still find those silver and blue linings in the losses. We are here to make some noise about the boys. How we feeling today, Matt Long?
We are feeling, man. This week seems extra long. Maybe it's in anticipation of the holiday weekend and season. Definitely looking forward to that, but even more so, primetime matchup Sunday night. We'll be waiting all day.
We want Dallas!
So, yeah. We're feeling pretty confident, if you can't tell. I don't think that there's any reason to believe that the Dallas Cowboys will drop this one, but any given Sunday, right? So, it's all about not becoming a stat. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Offense. What's it going to take for us to get back on track, C. Tom?
The Dallas Cowboys just need to figure out how to get Dak and the offensive line on track. Once that happens, we are back in business, baby. I am expecting the Dallas Cowboys to take off this game, and I know that we've been kind of talking about it for the last few weeks, but I think it is legitimately, now listen, guys, legitimately, it is going to happen this week against the Washington bum-ass football team. No-name-ass losers. Y'all are trash. We're coming for the division title.
Man, it's so funny, man. They're going to actually bring their heated benches and
just to take an L
and a power move to a heated facility.
Get your heated benches in here into the 75 degrees indoor stadium.
Yeah, we're talking trash right now. And guess what? We have absolutely no remorse for doing so. You guys brought this on yourselves, so comment below your rebuttals.
To yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now you gotta suffer the consequences. Sorry. All right, let's do this. Let's get right into it.
We're feeling good.
We're feeling good because you know why? The 49ers lost, and we are going to the playoffs for the first time since 2018. We are back in business. We're coming for 6. We're coming for 6. I hope the rest of the league is ready.
So just to get everybody back on track, just because we've clinched a playoff berth does not mean we've clinched the division. It just means that worst case scenario, we have won a playoff spot, a wild card spot, that be. But we have a lot of chances to clinch this bad boy on Sunday.
If you listen to our midweek special from a few weeks ago to our playoff predictor and scenarios episode, this is what we were talking about. We are now guaranteed spots 5, 6, and 7, but we're not going to be sitting there, guys, because, well, let's just get right into it, because by the time that the noon game's in, we're going to, before we even kick off, we're going to have the division clinched, and that's what is so exciting, y'all. It's not even like the Cowboys have to take it into their own hands. They don't even control their own destiny in a good way. For the first time in 3 years, we don't control our own destiny because we need 2 of like 6 teams to get a win. Two of 6.
What are those 6 teams? Do you have them there in front of you?
Yes, I have them right here. So if we have a Philly loss, so we're going for the Giants this week, and let's say that the Giants end up losing, which is expected because they suck. We need 2 wins from Minnesota, Atlanta, New England, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, or the Chargers. And they all have pretty favorable matchups. Mm-hmm. So before we even get to the afternoon games, we could have this thing wrapped up and we are going to the playoffs guaranteed at the 4 spot.
Now, I'm a guy that really likes to take matters into his own hands. Now, look, this is a super important game to take a look at. Is going to be on Christmas. Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Browns. If somehow Cleveland can pull out a victory in that one, Dallas has a shot to land number 1 seed and clinch a division in the same week. So crossing our fingers for that one, but we already know that the defense has showed up time and time again. They've shown that they've proven that they have continuity throughout their squad. But what we're really concerned in is the offensive side of the football. And you can take a step back and look at the perspective and see that offenses across the league have struggled. But Dallas in particular has really struggled in the got to, I mean, not that we have the answers, but where do you even start to turn this around?
I think it really does just kind of come down to continuity on the offensive line. I feel like Dak and the offensive line have just got to get in some sort of groove. And if we can do that, this team is going to take off. Given how poorly Washington played what was it, 3 days ago? We're recording this on a Friday.
Right.
Or no, this is a Thursday. I'm all off because I have Christmas Eve off. Thank you. Shout out to my boss.
Jeff.
Shout out to Jeff. My name is Jeff. We got Friday off. Anyways, what were we talking about? We're going to be... the offensive continuity, we gotta get this thing back on track. The podcast, and we gotta get the offense back on track. Dak Prescott has just got to get in some sort of groove here, and we saw how poorly Washington played 3 days ago, and against a up and down Philly team with
we want Dallas
Pro Bowler Jalen Hurts. Okay,
right.
So we'll get into the Pro Bowl stuff a little bit later, but. I think that if Philly can figure out a way to run the ball effectively and put up those kind of points on Washington, I think that Dallas is going to come out and do the same thing. For the last few weeks, I've been really disappointed with the way that the offense has played. It's been kind of like a gut punch every single time that they come out and the defense playing so well and then they get off the field and a 3-and-out. So if they do that this game, I'm probably going to lose my mind. I'm going to be really pissed off.
Yeah, last week with our guy JC, Justin Kerr, we actually talked a little bit about Amari Cooper. It's been reported here that he is kind of frustrated with the production, not only as from the offense as a whole, but from him not receiving targets. And I'll read off the quote that I'm looking at here. He says, I got to be honest, it actually does bother me because, yeah, we're winning, but the defense is playing a huge part in that. We're not really as explosive as we should be. We're not converting a lot of their turnovers into touchdowns. A lot of them are field goals, and I feel like I could be a huge part of that, so that's what frustrates me. I think I can do more in the red zone if I get some targets as well as on third down to help the offense be what we want to be, and I think I can definitely help change that. So it's not just a fan observation. It's obviously something that they feel within. They can see it. They've identified it. Now it's just a matter of turning it around and refinding their groove. And I've said it week after week for like the last 5 weeks. This is the week. Dallas turns it around. I'm not going to say it this week. I'm just going to sit back, watch the defense do their thing, and see if the offense can capitalize on the other end.
Yeah, I'm all for getting Amari Cooper back in the mix here, man. He's only had 2 games over 100 yards receiving, and I understand, we've got so many weapons. We're not going to have the Madden stats that a lot of, other big play receivers and big play running backs, all those, big time players on other teams that with good offenses. We're not going to have guys with those kind of numbers just because Dak is a quarterback that likes to spread the ball around, and this offense just has so many weapons. You never know who's going to have a big game. So, but I'm all for getting Amari Cooper more targets, man. Like, listen to this stretch since Denver. 5 targets on the Denver game, 2 receptions. Atlanta, he had 4 targets, 4 receptions, so that's solid. Let's see, 2 targets, 2 receptions. Then the following game against Washington, he had 7 targets on 5 Yeah, 7 targets, 5 receptions, and then against the Giants, he had 5 targets, 2 receptions.
So only 1 in our last 5 has he received more than 5 targets.
Yeah, and that's ridiculous. Given, Amari is your number one guy.
Yeah.
He's going to be the go-to. We know who our playmakers are. Why are we not getting the ball to them? Instead, we're throwing the ball to Zeke, who's, hurt on a seam route against a safety. Like, it's stuff like that makes me want to point the finger at Kellen Moore. Like,
you scratch your head. It's like, what the hell, man?
That's what King Petty was kind of, referring to in the last episode, if you guys tuned in. But we got to figure out a way to get our playmakers the ball, man. I think that Tony Pollard needs to get the ball on the edge. CeeDee Lamb needs to get quick tosses to him. Not tosses, but get the ball to CeeDee quick. And I'm not talking about the same wide receiver screen that we've ran every single game for the last 8 weeks. But you need to figure out a way to get him on some drag routes. Maybe a screen, but maybe out of the backfield, maybe off a wheel route. Think of something different to get him the ball quick, because
Kellen Moore, minimize run off tackle, minimize run off guard, minimize wide receiver screens. For the love of God, if I watch CD or Amari get tackled in the backfield one more time because you set up a screen on like a third down. Oh,
yeah.
What an energy sucker.
And, there are times to call that, but I don't get it on 3rd and 12. I don't get it on 3rd and 7. When you've got guys that can run routes like Amari, CD, and what CD does really well is he catches the ball when he catches the ball in space, his yards after the catch, this dude is remarkable. So I don't understand, especially coming out the slot, why Kellen Moore can't scheme something up to get him open in space underneath and run after the catch. It seems like the only way they're trying to get him the ball and give him an opportunity to run after the catch is like through screens and stuff. Now, obviously, CD needs to catch the ball when he's targeted too. That would help.
Yeah, that would certainly help. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the struggles across the league offensively. So everybody's got their eyes on Dallas. Everybody knows that Dak Prescott and his unit are struggling, but no one's really talking about anybody else. If you look at the point differential, and at least since week 9, we're second in point differential. We're plus 45. Only person in front of us right now is a rolling San Francisco team that obviously just lost. I don't know if this reflects that. Probably not. But we're still scoring 25 points per game. We're 36% on third down, but across the league, we're not the worst. Rams are the worst right now.
This is among playoff teams.
Correct.
In the NFC, right?
Yes. 42.7% for Green Bay. I mean, everybody's sub 50% on third down. Nobody's really doing great in time of possession, specifically the Rams. Man. So just like silver and blue lining give you something to hold on to and give you some peace of mind. It's not just Dallas. On top of that, we have just played 3 consecutive home games. It's obviously very hard to win. Road games, excuse me. It's obviously very hard to win on the road. And to come away with 3 in a row, that's super impressive no matter who you're playing. And on Sunday night, we'll be returning to home. It'll be something special to see back-to-back games and hopefully make it 4 in a row. So
another silver and blue lining here, Cowboys Nation. Back-to-back home games on a Sunday for the first time since Denver and Atlanta, which was November 7th and November the 14th. So it's been over a month since the Dallas Cowboys have had back-to-back home games on a Sunday.
It's also been about 40 years since the Dallas Cowboys have won 3 consecutive road games. So
silver and blue linings. Keep those in mind, Cowboy Nation. We are on a roll right now. 3 straight wins on the road. I don't care how ugly you think they look. I don't care if you think that, you watch too much college football, you play too much fantasy football, and you play too much Madden, okay? This is the NFL. We're not going to win every game 45-3. That Atlanta game was an anomaly. That doesn't happen in the NFL. So get over it.
Yeah, man. The health and safety protocol bug has not been very aggressive in Dallas. Thank the Lord. Right now, I think we're only suffering the loss of Tristan Hill. Osa Odigizua will be back. He's at least activated for this game. Tyron Smith is still nursing his leg injury. We know that Zeke's playing through his. He can only get better, at least according to him and his doctor. And Tony Pollard, of course, is nursing his foot injury. But, I mean...
He looked good, man.
We're pretty much at full strength. So, any given Sunday, a team can show up and steal one. But the Cowboys are poised to win this, and we just hope that they get it done.
There ain't no hoping. We're going to get it done. We're not losing to a team with no name, bro. It's
Absolutely.
not happening.
Absolutely not. So moving on the defensive side of the football, I mean, look, they showed up a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like Taylor Heineke has been activated for this game. I guess he just didn't get enough. So we'll just have to put him back on injury reserve and see how he's feeling after that game.
He puts the Heine in Heineke. We're coming for that ass. See what I did there?
Good job.
Yeah. No, but for real, we are coming for that ass. Randy Gregory, DeMarcus Lawrence, fully expect them to be out there doing their thing. I think that last week the Giants kind of had a game plan to look for 11, and then you saw DeMarcus Lawrence ball out. And that is the beautiful thing about having three guys like Randy Gregory, Micah Parsons, and DeMarcus Lawrence that can rush the passer all at a high level. Focus on one of them. That's what we want, Cowboys Nation, because one of them is going to get freed up and one of them is going to get to the quarterback. And we saw the mediocre 2007 Giants win the Super Bowl that way. We have a chance. This is the year for us. It's anybody's this year. We got this.
Truthfully, I mean, it really is. If you look at the records across the league, if you look at the statistics, everybody's shown that they have Achilles heel someplace or another. Everybody's shown that they're very human. Nobody's like a super beast. There's no super teams. Everybody has weakness in their teams. So, like you said, to your point, it's anybody's Super Bowl to win this year. I'm going to move into my bold prediction. All right, I don't have a whole lot to talk about on this one. We discussed the majority of it going into Washington 2 weeks ago. This one's less of an impactful game. But that being said, I want to make my bold prediction so Dak Prescott strikes me as a guy that takes things very personally, especially if they're coming from his teammates. So having this report on Amari Cooper come out, I'm expecting Coop to see around 8 to 10 catches, or at least 8 to 10 targets. And he'll go for over 100 yards, and he'll grab a touchdown in this one.
So I think it's interesting. Before I get to my bold prediction, I do think it's interesting, that Cooper said that in Cowboys Nation. Go check out the Dallas Cowboys YouTube channel and go find that video. I'm sure it's on there somewhere. Definitely making the rounds on Twitter. If you watch the video, it doesn't sound like it's coming from a place of like anger or anything like that. You can tell he's a little bit frustrated, but I don't think it's, it's going to make the rounds and people are going to talk about it, but I don't think it's necessarily something that we need to get up and roar and, upset about.
Seems more so to come from a place of confidence. Like just find me and I'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. But it definitely is interesting to hear some of the guys from the Cowboys say something like that, like Amari Cooper to say something like that, because first of all, we know how reserved and quiet he can be. So that's interesting. And then number two is, something we've heard all year from this team is, we've got so many guys. This is a brotherhood. We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna we're in this together. Blah blah blah. This is the first time you're hearing guys on the team really come out in talking in the media and expressing frustration. Right. So that is something that kind of makes me a little bit worried.
Well, here's the other side of it. You almost want to hear stuff like that, because if Amari was to sit back and be like, "Look, we're winning." That's just him accepting their production for what it is. But for him to come out and be like, no, we're winning, but offense is doing anything. We could be winning by so much more if we're executing and hitting on all cylinders like we should be and like we're built to do. That for me is super important to come from a guy like Amari, because it shows that just because you're winning, we're not settling just for the win. We want to win, but we want to win convincingly. And the way that we want to win is by stomping on their throats, for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah. It's definitely interesting, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we do about it. like you said, your bold prediction is that we listen to what Amari's frustrations are and we start trying to get him the ball. But,
I mean, Dak's going to be looking his way for sure.
I understand that, but at the same time, that does kind of make me a little bit uneasy. Hopefully, you're right about it's coming from a place of confidence. On third downs in the red zone, look for me. I'm going to make a play.
Right.
But at the same time,
he's going to have a chip on his shoulder this game. He's going to come out looking to catch the ball. I mean,
right.
That's big statement. It's a big statement.
Right. And we saw that the Cowboys are capable of backing up big statements. But at the same time, it does make me a little bit
Dallas
worried.
Going to win this game.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it makes me worried because, the great thing about Dak is that he doesn't care who he's throwing the ball to.
Right.
He's going to spread it around and he's going to throw it to the open guy most of the time. But so I'm
Even if it's a defender.
Yeah, the defenders are wide open in Washington. So hopefully we don't see any of that. But I just don't want Dak to lose sight of what makes Dak Dak. I want him to continue spreading. I mean, he struggled last game. He still hit 8 receivers. That is awesome. And that's what I love about Prescott. So hopefully he doesn't lose sight of that, even though, he probably will be looking for Amari Cooper a little bit harder this time.
Dak attack. Feed Zeke. What's your bold prediction?
My bold prediction is feed Pollard. We saw, and you know what? I would love to see the Cowboys get Dak involved in the run game this week. We saw the Philadelphia Eagles absolutely carve up Washington with the read option. Given how much Dak has actually ran the ball this year, wouldn't it be great to have Pollard in the backfield run some read option? I know that they don't want to run Dak very much, but damn, on the 5-yard line, wouldn't that work given what we've put on tape?
So obviously you want to run Dak sparingly, keeping his injury in mind that sidelined him for the rest of the season, that season in last year. But that doesn't mean to not run him ever. Like if it's going to work and you can do it sparingly and you can do it in a way that protects him.
Yeah, the read option. RPOs are great too. I mean, if we have that in the playbook, we got to open up that playbook. But I don't know. When you're down in the red zone, man,
So that's my point is you want to run him sparingly, yes, keeping the injury in mind, but you don't want to run him so sparingly that when it is time for him to run, he's unsure of himself. And you've definitely seen it this season where he's got a lot of space and old Dak that we're used to is take off and truck someone. You haven't seen that same confidence. So this would be a good game to establish some confidence, at least for Dak using his legs in this one.
Yeah, I would love to see Dak get involved in the run game. But getting back to the bold prediction, y'all, my bold prediction is that the Cowboys run wild. This offensive line is going to absolutely feast on this terrible, terrible no-name team. This no-name defense. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want this to come back and bite me. They do have some solid players on their defensive line. We know that. But, man, if the Eagles can do it, can't the Cowboys, given the amount of talent that we have? My bold prediction is that the Cowboys carry the ball 35 times, go for 180 yards between Dak, Zeke, Pollard. I don't know if Clement is going to play. Isn't he in COVID protocols?
Clement's not, but...
Pollard
and
Jaquan Hardy.
Correct.
Okay. Regardless, I would love to see CeeDee Lamb get 3 carries out of the backfield. You don't want him running the ball too much out of the backfield. He's a smaller guy. You want him out in space, but he has proven to be effective, especially when we need some sort of spark. So
put him in the open field. He'll put a move on your ass.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw him do it to Malcolm Jenkins, who is a really awesome player. So that just speaks to CeeDee's agility. But that's my bold prediction, Cowboys Nation. We're going to run for the most rushing yards that we have in some time.
I'm here for it. And going into your score prediction, what do you got?
Well, before we get to the score prediction, let's touch a little bit on this Pro Bowl BS. So for the Pro Bowl NFC for quarterbacks was named Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Kyler Murray. I found that one to be a bit of a shock. There are sources, now it's not confirmed, but there are sources that are saying that there are alternates being named, and the alternates were Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson. I just want to kind of hear your thoughts on that. That's mind-blowing to me considering, how well Dak played at the beginning of this season, and how poorly Jalen Hurts and Russell Wilson missed a lot of time, man. I just think that the Pro Bowl voting is just kind of lame these days. And
Yeah, it's questionable. I'm not even gonna look. I'll give my 2 cents on it, but I just think it's dumb. I mean, for a guy like Russell Wilson, who's not only struggled when he's in, but who's missed so much time to get an alternate, especially over guys lesser than Dak Prescott. We talked about this before, like in Kirk Cousins and Matt Stafford. That's just ridiculous, man. I don't even know on what basis that you would make a vote on these guys, but that's just completely questionable. I think it's stupid. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I mean, I agree. The Pro Bowl's dumb these days because you get a vote with a retweet. So it's basically whoever has the biggest social media following is going to the Pro Bowl. It's dumb.
So congratulations,
but
Russell.
let's give a shout out to the Dallas Cowboys players that did
Yes.
make the Pro Bowl. You got them?
I do have them here. Let me pull them up. So the Dallas Cowboys Pro Bowlers this season are Tyron Smith, and obviously, yes, he's missed some games, but as we talked about before the podcast, whenever he is in, dude is dominant. He's a destructive force. Zach Martin, no brainer. Brian Anger has been playing out of his mind, punting his ass off.
He has the number 1 punt net average in the league.
That's fantastic.
This guy's been flipping field position all season.
Right, and that's something that we've always wondered about our special teams we've always struggled with on our special teams is pinning our opponents deep and switching field position. So it's good to see a guy like Brian Anger come in. And
First Cowboys Pro Bowl punter since Matt McBriar.
Wow,
That's a while ago.
and then we also have you named it. You don't even need me to say it. Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs.
7-Eleven, baby. We knew it was coming.
You betcha. Open 24/7. So that being said, alternate, if it's a real thing, Randy Gregory's also made it.
And I know Randy's missed some time, but man, he's absolutely deserving. Everything he's been through and the work that he's put in to get back to this place. Shout out to RG, man. He's definitely deserving. He's played very well this season.
Yeah, for sure. But I said what I said about the Pro Bowl. I mean, it's a dumb game to watch anyways. I don't even watch it.
I don't think a lot of people do.
Regardless of how many players we have in it, I could care less. I just care about getting a ring. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, let's hope that our guys aren't even going to the Pro Bowl because they're focused on the Super Bowl game.
So with all of that said, Cowboys Nation, it's time to not only clinch the division, but to propel ourselves into the number 1 seed and crossing our fingers for a Green Bay loss. But I don't need to cross my fingers to predict that Dallas wins this game by 3 touchdowns. And I've got Dallas winning 35-14.
Let's go. Crossing my fingers for a Browns win this weekend. I hate Aaron Rodgers on the football field. I can't stand him. I love watching him get sacked. I love watching Green Bay lose. So please, Santa, bring me this present. Moving forward into my score prediction, I don't want to copy you, but that's actually the score that I had in my head. So I'll change it up a little bit. With my bold prediction, I did predict that the Cowboys were going to run the ball very efficiently. I expect that to mean that we're going to have long, sustaining drives. Going to eat up the time of possession. So let's go Dallas 30-9.
All right. There you go. 3 touchdowns.
Cowboys Nation, 3 tutties in Dallas. Big D taking down the bum-ass team with no names.
All day NFC East champs. Playoffs running through Arlington this year. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far, I want to thank you for your time and attention and hope that you've learned something value here in the last half hour. Smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and activate that bell button so that you can be the very first to know when a new episode of Noise of the Boys has dropped. And with that, we are out of here. Matt Longoria and Uncle C. Tom, and we will see each and every one of you for the post-game reports.
Peace!